Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tipper's Den. My name is Whitney, and today I have an ABC Author Challenge update. We're going to be talking about my P author, and then I read a couple books for my Q author, so we'll be talking about those as well. And then we're going to do another little haul in this video. One, my Q author that I originally had ended up being DNFing, so I went to the bookstore and the library and got Q authors. And so obviously when I went to the bookstore, I didn't just stop at the Q author. I ended up picking out several other books as well. So we're going to talk about those. And then as far as the rest of the books, there was one specific book I was trying to get, and I swear that book is cursed. And so I kind of ended up just going down a rabbit hole, which led me to get some more books. And then some of the books I picked up at the local bookstore caused me to go down another rabbit hole to kind of finish off that series. So we'll talk about all those. I guess let's go ahead and start with the haul. So I recently did a pre-birthday book haul, which I'll leave linked down below and at the end of this video if you haven't seen it. And my birthday is not till September, so I did a pre-birthday book haul. That way I could have all these books on hand to read the whole month of September. That was the idea. I didn't want to wait. My birthday is like mid-month, and so I didn't want to wait till then, and then, and then we're getting into the holidays and such. I just want to have the whole month of September with these books, essentially. So that's why I went and did that. In that haul video, there were some books I had ordered that I hadn't yet gotten, but I did go ahead and talk about them. And that was the rest of the Lunar Chronicle series, which they came, they're here, so happy about that. And then there was also some Boxcar children books that I had ordered. So I had found them at one of the stores we went to, and I had gotten up to number 15, but there were some gaps, so I wanted to go ahead and fill in those gaps. So I did an order from Thrift Books. Well, I got a message after the last video, my haul video, I got a message that they couldn't find one of the books. And that was number 9, which is the Mountaintop Mystery. Picture will be here. So I was like, well, shoot. So they couldn't find it. They refunded me. All's good there. But I still wanted that book. I did not want to have that gap. It was going to annoy me. So I ended up going on Pango Books. And I think I found a couple copies, but like one was like in a bundle, which I had some of the other books in the bundle. So I was like, I don't want to do that. And then I think another one that was like the only book they had. And I didn't want to just get it with shipping costs and such. I wanted to have a more full order. Well, I did find a seller that had it and a bunch of other Boxcar Children books, and she had free shipping if you spent so much money. So I thought, okay, well, I'll get these other Boxcar Children books. Like, there'll be gaps, but they're higher numbers. It's not going to annoy me as much. So I ordered those, and then she had some other children's books that I was kind of interested in that I added on just to make sure I hit that price to get free shipping. Get a message from that seller. She can't find any of the Boxcar Children books. She asked her child, and they had taken some books, but they don't know where those books are. So she offered to replace them with, I think, Judy B books or something like that, which I'm like, not interested in those. Specifically, want the Boxcar Children books. So I was like, just cancel the order then. She was so nice. She ended up sending me the other books that she did have that I had added on, just kind of fill the order. She ended up sending those to me for free, which I told her, you don't have to do that. Like, it's not your fault. Your kid took the books. But she did that, and I was specifically interested. She had an Oregon Trail CD for your computer, and that was one of my favorite games, in school growing up. Like, I loved the Oregon Trail. I was obsessed with it. So I got that CD. She sent it to me. My husband had to work some magic in order to get it into the computer to play, but it's on there now and I can play it, which I'm so excited for. So I got that. Then I got 4 other books that she sent me. So the first one that I was kind of interested in that I added on, like I said, again, just to hit that price, was a Magic Treehouse book, which is Haunted Castle on Hallows Eve, and this is by Mary Pope Osborne. So I got this, and I think this will be perfect to read in October coming up. It doesn't have a dust jacket, but the book is in really good condition. So happy with that one. Then I got National Velvet by Enid Bagnold. Probably mispronouncing that. Which this is one I'm familiar with, but I never actually read it. So I'm really, really excited to have this one as well because I never read it. A little bit of damage right here, but doesn't really bother me at all. Otherwise, in good shape, it looks like. So have that one. Can finally read that. Add it to my children's horse collection. Next, I got Matilda by Roald Dahl. This is one that I've never read anything by this author, but I really loved the movie Matilda growing up. I watched it frequently. So now I can finally read the book, which I'm excited for. And then lastly, I saw that she had The Call of the Wild by Jack London. I didn't realize it at the time. Um, but this is a picture, like a graphic novel type book. So it's really whittled down, and you can see it says Picture Classics. I just assumed that meant it had illustrations. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. So, not quite what I wanted, but at least I have it. I never actually read The Call of the Wild. Again, another one I'm familiar with, but I did read this condensed version. I did a Throwback Thursday with a couple other doggy books, so definitely check that out. I read this with those. So yeah, I have this now, even though it's not quite what I was expecting. Still pretty happy to have that. So she sent those. Then I went to eBay and found number 9, the Mountaintop Mystery. Those have not come in yet. They got missent to a different center than it was supposed to go to, so they had to redirect it. It is on its way though. Should be here within the next couple days. So I got number 9, the Mountaintop Mystery, and then again it was another case of spend, I think, like $15 and get free shipping. So I was like, yes. And I prefer to kind of not just buy a single book. So I ended up getting, let's see, The Dog Who Wouldn't Be, and I'll insert a picture, by Farley Mowat. I just read Never Cry Wolf by that author and loved it. I mean, it was funny. It had that conservation, natural aspect that I really enjoy, but the humor and the writing was really, really good. So I ended up getting, like I said, The Dog Who Wouldn't Be, which I'm excited to read and try another book by that author. And then they also had Clifford's First Valentine by Norman Bridwell. And so I got that as well because I loved Clifford growing up. You can see I got a little Clifford back here. So yeah, so I got that as well. Like I said, it got missent, like I said, number 9, it's just cursed. So, but it is on its way. Should be here within the next couple days. So then I, like I said, went to the little local bookstore because I had to get a new Q author. So I picked up this by Ellery Queen, The Siamese Twin Mystery, which I will be talking about in a second because it's part of my ABC Author Challenge. I also got another book. I don't have it on hand. It's out in the living room, called Spillover. It's also by a Q author, but I didn't want to read it for the challenge. But I found it because I was looking specifically for Q authors, and it's basically about zoonotic diseases. And I don't know, I'm really interested in that kind of thing. It does sound like it's kind of disturbing, so I'm not sure why I'm going to do that to myself, but hey. And then while I was in that little bookstore, I found, so I have the Heartland series. I have up to number 15, and I've been kind of keeping an eye out, but I kind of wanted to complete the series all at once, and I haven't been able to find um like them all at once essentially. And like some of like number 20's been kind of pricey, but she had 3 of the ones I needed. So she had number 17, which is A Season of Hope, and then she had 18, New Beginnings, and 19, which is From This Day. So I saw those, I snagged them. They're in really, really good shape. And so I wanted to do another order. And on Thrift Books, I also had a credit for a free book, but it has to be less than a certain price. I wish they would just apply like the amount of the credit, but they don't do that. And so I ended up getting number 16, which is Holding Fast, and number 20, which is Always There. So I got those, but they were over the price of the free credit. And so I ended up getting Winnie the Pooh full color gift edition, which I'm excited for. Those were supposed to arrive the day I'm filming this. They're kind of lost in the void somewhere. I'm hoping they'll show up. So thrift books, it goes through like a shipping partner before it gets to the postal service, and so it's in Texas somewhere. And so it arrived at the shipping partner, departed the shipping partner, which in the past, I've ordered a lot from thrift books. It ends up going to the distribution center within a day. It's been 4 days now, and there has been no update. So I'm a little bit worried they're lost, but I'm crossing my fingers that they'll get here, because I was looking on thrift books. They have one other of the number 16 Heartland series books, but it's in worse condition. And then they have one some of the number 20 books, but it's more expensive, like it's $35 now where I paid 18 for it. So I'm really, really hoping they show up so I don't have to get, a worse condition book and a more expensive book. A little bit frustrated that it's kind of lost, but we'll just keep our fingers crossed. So, that they end up showing up. So I ended up doing that order specifically so I could complete the Heartland series, the main series. There are special editions. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm just crossing my fingers and praying. So, and then at the little local used bookstore, I've also been working on my Irish Johanson collection now that I've completed my Nora Roberts collection. So first, she had a little trilogy within the Eve Duncan series. So the Eve Duncan series is like her main series, and there's a lot of books in it. But she's done like a couple like little trilogies. So you have like the Eve, Bonnie, and Quinn trilogy, and then you have the um this little trilogy, which is Taking Eve, Hunting Eve, and Silencing Eve. So I'm really excited that she had those, because I was particularly interested in these ones. So I got those. And then she had some other ones that I got. So I got Night and Day, which does have a little bit of damage up here, not a problem. So I got Night and Day. Then I got Sleep No More, and I did get also Body of Lies, and lastly I got The Killing Game. So those are the books I got at the little local bookstore. And so yeah, that's the haul. So I guess let's go ahead now and get into my ABC Author Challenge books. So originally for my Q author, I was supposed to read Regrets Only by Sally Quinn. I got 15 pages in, and I was just like, I can't do this. It's like 550-ish pages. Um, and I knew going in that it might not be for me because it sounded like it was going to be a little bit political. But I thought, well, it might be interesting too. I read John Grisham for the first time, which is something I never thought I would enjoy, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought it was worth a try. This was the only Q author I found at the thrift store. And like I said, I couldn't do it. She used to be a reporter for the Washington Post, and so she's in that scene, and she wrote this book. Well, the first 15 pages were about like this dinner party that this woman was throwing, and she was talking about how she assigned numbers to the people, like the important people that she was inviting, and like the president always got a 10 no matter what. And then like everybody else, the max they could get was like a 5. And sometimes like they would have to invite a 2 or a 1 as their guest, and she didn't like that, and she had to even it out. I don't know, it was just bleh. So I DNF'd that, and I was like, not doing it. So then I ended up going to like the bookstore and library and got a couple others. I decided when I do DNF a book, if I have specifically chosen that book and I end up DNFing it, I'm gonna go ahead and read 2 books for that letter. I did that with my O author because I DNF'd him. I did George Orwell, 1984. Couldn't get through that. DNF'd that one, and I ended up reading, I think, Standing in the Light, which is one of the Dear America books by Mary Pope Osborne. I ended up reading that one, but didn't feel quite right. I thought I needed another one, so I ended up reading Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And so yeah, I'm just gonna do that going forward. I don't think any of the other books I will DNF. There's one that possibly is the Lost Book of Moses. I might DNF that one. But I might not if it's interesting enough. But all the others seem like books I'll be interested in and will enjoy. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But let's go ahead and start with my P author, which is Kalena Price. This is Grave Witch, which is an Alex Craft novel. Fortunately for me, it is the first in the Alex Craft series, which made me really, really happy. I wasn't lost at all. This book I loved so much. It was kind of the Dresden Files meets the Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton. Dresden Files are by Jim Butcher. This had aspects that I enjoyed of both those series, but I enjoyed this way more. I've only read one book of the Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton, but it was kind of intense. So this one's not quite as intense. It's a little bit um, easier to just read and get through. And I enjoyed it more than the Dresden Files. One, I liked the main character more, and two, it wasn't just like action, action, action. There was more of a plot within the casework that she was doing, but it was very similar in feel to the Dresden Files. You know, she is a witch that's a PI, and works kind of with the police, and then she also raises the dead. She's a grave witch, so she's able to raise the dead, and she's kind of in contact with like the death realm, I guess. I'm not really sure what to call it, but really enjoyed the main character. Like I said, she's not nearly as annoying as Harry Dresden. It doesn't have like that misogynistic vibe to it at all, and it's not just action, action, action either. Like there's kind of more of a plot line, but basically she gets involved in this case. One, her sister contacts her, which she's kind of estranged from her family because she's a witch and they're part of like the humans first party, like political party, and so she's estranged from them, kind of disowned by her father. And so her sister ends up contacting her because I think he's a senator or something, ends up getting murdered, and so she wants her sister's help, um learning who killed him because she can raise the dead and talk to him. And so she gets involved in this case because of her sister, but then the lead investigator catches her, meddling in his case, and so he gets upset, but she's able to see things that other people aren't able to see, like other witches that are consultant and such can't see. And so he ends up kind of working with her. And then another case that she's kind of involved in um ends up having ties back, and so she goes and she ends up getting attacked by the shade she raises, and that ties back into the whole case that's going on with the senator as well. So there's this character of death, which I really enjoyed, and then like I said, the lead investigator Fallon Andrews, he kind of has his own secrets as well, and just a good time. Really, really, really enjoyed this, and there is a little bit of a love triangle with Death and then Fallon and Alex, but it's kind of a little bit understated just because of Death's involvement and such. But this is so good. Like I said, I liked how it was less annoying than the Dresden Files and not as intense as the Anita Blake series. So, if you kind of are interested in either of those series, this is one you might check out because you might really, really enjoy it like I did. So, that was my P author, Kalena Price. Really enjoyed this. Definitely going to be keeping my eyes out for more of those books for sure. Then, like I said, I got Ellery Queen, the Siamese Twin Mystery, and I'm a little confused by this. One, the cover does not match anything. Like, the cover's horrible. This does have some, like, water damage and such, but the main character is Ellery Queen, but it's by Ellery Queen. So I'm a little bit confused because it reads like third person viewpoint. So I'm like, okay, but so he made this character based on they made this character based on themselves. Like I don't really understand. I meant to do more research into it, but um yeah. So the Siamese twin mystery. So basically you have Ellery Queen and his father Inspector Queen, and they somehow get trapped on this mountain and there's a wildfire burning below it. The logic of this book wasn't quite all there. There's this huge fire that's ringing this mountain and they're stuck on top of it. Where there's this doctor who's doing weird experiments and such. And then he gets murdered, and so they're trying to solve the murder, and then there's another murder during that time as well. So they're trying to solve this murder, and while that's going on, they're also trapped because of this fire, and then the fire is coming and is about to reach them by the end of the book. So logic's not all there. It is, very murder mystery esque, which is not my favorite. I don't really enjoy that. I did like this better than the Agatha Christie one I read, which was the Mysterious Affair at Styles. I did like this one a little bit better than that one. It had more like of a gothic type feel to it, but so I just they're not my favorite. Like that's not my favorite thing to read. Um I just don't enjoy them generally speaking. And yeah, this one was a little bit weird. Like I said, the logic wasn't quite there in some instances, but overall, not bad. So yeah, overall, did enjoy it. But like I said, some of the logic wasn't quite there, and it is what it is. Not my cup of tea, and it is a little dated. I can't remember when this one was published. I think 19 something, um, 1933 originally. This edition was published in 1961. It looks like, or no, 1970 was this edition. So, which explains probably the cover, even though it doesn't match the story at all. I'm not really sure what's happening here, but it has nothing to do with the story. So, yeah, not bad if you like Agatha Christie and such. You might try this author, but just I don't know. It was all right. Enjoyed the mystery. Didn't really figure out who had done it, but I think that's another reason why I don't like these types of murder mysteries is because they're trying to put suspicion on so many different characters, um and it just kind of gets under my skin a little bit, I think. But overall, not bad. I like I said, gave it 3 stars. I did enjoy it, but it's just not my cup of tea. Then I read Dog on It by Spencer Quinn. I got this from the library. This one I love. So this is another like kind of cozy murder mystery type book, but it is so good. It's told all from the dog's perspective, which is Chet. So you have Chet and Bernie's a private eye, and then Chet is a failed police dog. And so it's all told from Chet's perspective, which was so much fun. And so, you hear like the conversations he's hearing between the humans, so you get some of that, but then you have the dog perspective. And it was just such a good time. Like, I love this book. Chet as a character is so funny, and like, the author did a really good job of like getting into a dog's brain. Like, I can see my dogs doing some of the things that Chet did, and it's just so good. Like really really enjoyed this one. So you have Chet and Bernie, and they're hired on this case to find this missing teenage girl, that the cops are like, well, she's probably just run away, and things lead you to believe that she's a runaway, but early on, like, like she's not a runaway, like there's something more going on. And so it's kind of them trying to solve this case, and figure out, one, what's going on, like why she was kidnapped and taken, and two, where is she. So But this was such a fun book. This is the first one in the Chet and Bernie mystery series, and it was so good. Definitely another one that I'm really interested in trying to find more books by. And this is one of the reasons I don't like library books, because this is one I would prefer to keep because I really enjoyed it. But now I gotta give it back to the library. So definitely gonna keep my eye out for this author in the future and probably pick this book up as well because I really did enjoy it. And I can see myself rereading this one. And plus, it had like a Southwest desert feel to it. I think it's Arizona, I want to say, is where it's kind of taking place, because it's kind of on the line of New Mexico as well. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this. And if you like the murder mysteries, or if you're not quite a big fan of them, definitely give this one a try. I read a review and it was somebody who's like, I don't like cozy mysteries. I do not enjoy them, but I really enjoy this book because it was funny, and being from the dog's point of view, it was really enjoyable. So if you're not a big mystery, like cozy mystery fan, this is one you might try because, like I said, being told from the dog's point of view is kind of funny and it's different. And I really enjoyed it. So definitely recommend this one. But those are the 3 books I read. So I have my 2 for my Q author and then my P author. But all of these were pretty enjoyable. Like I said, this one could live without, but it wasn't bad for what it was, and these 2 I absolutely loved. So that is it for this video. I know it's a little bit longer, but yeah, that's my ABC author challenge for this month. So I have what, R and S next month that I need to read. So I'll be reading those for sure, even though it's my birthday month, and I'm going to be kind of more mood reading. The 2 that are coming up for R and S, I'm really interested in and I'm excited for. In particular, like, those are some of the ones I'm most excited for. So definitely, keep an eye out next month when I read those, and I'll give you guys an update then. But that's it for my ABC Author Challenge update and my little haul. Cross your fingers that those books are not lost in the void and they do get here, because I really just want to complete my Heartland collection and check that one off. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you here. If you made it this far, leave the book stack emoji, since I did yet another haul. And yeah, happy reading, everyone. Bye.